Thankfully, when I was 21 years old, I took a trip to Taiwan, and that was my first time out of the country. And I learned that there's other places you can live, and it's not terribly expensive. Living in Taiwan was, pretty equal to the cost of living in America, and actually, things like food, it was cheaper to buy food. And here I am in Shanghai right now, and so I have my $15 a night hotel, and to take the subway I spend less than $2 a day. For food I spend less than $4 a day. For I might get the occasional coffee, something like that. It's going to be $3-4, pretty expensive. But if you want to be traveling abroad and also investing in America in real estate, it's definitely doable. Even in America I saved a lot of money. I found cheap places to live, rooms to rent that were very cheap. So it's not always like going to another country is going to be cheaper. I know a lot of people are like, oh, live out of the country because it's cheaper to live there. Not necessarily. I mean, if I didn't know where to look here in Shanghai, I'd be spending quite a bit of money, maybe $50 a day. But once I got here, like I said, I went out and I found cheaper hotels, $15 a night, and then I got settled in and I learned where all the cheap places to eat are, and I got my little routine down. So I'm not saying you have to go out of the country to live like a cheaper life, a frugal life. You can stay in America and live a frugal life. But if you would like to travel around the world, other countries, don't be afraid to, because there's definitely ways to live comfortably and cheaply in other countries. Right now I'm spending about $700 a month US to live in one of the most populated cities in the world, Shanghai. As a US citizen, I have 60 days in China each time I enter the country, and the visa is good for 10 years, so you can stay here for 60 days. Next week I'm going to go to Japan. You can come back for another 60 days. So there's no reason why you can't be a property investor, but also living in other countries. It's not terribly expensive. Also remember that I'm single. I don't have children. I'm a pretty frugal guy, so you have to take those into account too when you're calculating your expenses, but it's definitely doable. And hey, maybe you want to work a little bit harder than me and you want to buy more property in America before you tell your boss you're quitting. But if you're a single person, for me, living on $700 a month in Shanghai is doable. And hey, if it's you and your wife, maybe you want to get $1,400 in passive income with your real estate, but living abroad is definitely doable. One thing I do when I'm going to go to a city is I try to drive down my living expenses. Maybe you've never been to a country before, go online and book a hotel for a couple days. Give yourself like 3-4 days online. There you go. Make a plan. You got a way to get from the airport or the train station to your hotel. You can put your stuff in your room, and then as soon as possible you want to start to drive down the expenses of your living cost. So you're gonna get to the city, you're gonna go out and look for places that might not be online, that maybe they didn't speak English and they didn't have a website in English. Me, I'm in Shanghai right now, and I got my hotel, but then I went out running to get some exercise, and at the same time I found a cheaper hotel that was only $14 a night instead of $40 a night like the first hotel I had. So get to your new place, get settled, and then immediately try to drive down your living expenses so that you can stay there longer. It's 5 o'clock right now in Shanghai, and everyone's on the way home after work. Today I didn't even spend that much money. I only spent like $1.50 on subway tickets today, and then I got some dumplings here in Shanghai. No, not dumplings. They're like these little, they call them mantou. There's these balls of bread, and they have vegetables inside of them, and each one is 1.5 yen, which would be like 30 cents, I think, like that. But I think in total today I've been walking around, I've been reading this book, Total Recall, about Arnold. Great book. He was also a real estate investor, by the way. But I didn't even spend that much money. On the subway I spent like maybe maybe $2 on the subway. Walked around the mall, got some exercise, got to work on my plans, got to write some plans down and think, and I'll practice my Chinese a little bit. But all in all, today I didn't spend very much money. Another little piece of advice I wanted to give you: when you get to a country like China, every country is going to have their own software that they use for like booking flights and for booking hotels. So like I was talking about either before or after this part of the video, I was able to get my hotel cost down to $15 US a night. And then now I'm using the Chinese software Ctrip, the letter C as in cat, trip, and I get cheaper flights, high-speed rail tickets, hotel prices that are cheaper than you would see on like Expedia or something like that on a Western website. So when you get to the country, find out, ask around what software, what websites they use for their tickets and hotels, and you can get your prices down a lot lower. Okay, I'm in a McDonald's right now, and I was keeping track of the money I've been spending over the last couple days. When I first got to Shanghai, I spent $46. The reason why that was so high was because the hotel I was in was one that I had reserved online. It was more expensive. I didn't know exactly what the prices were going to be once I got here to Shanghai. The very next day, before checkout, I went out and found a cheaper hotel, which was only about $14 a night. And I also started to find the cheaper places to eat. I spent a little bit more on the subway tickets this day because I was still learning the area. By the third day here, I had my cheaper hotel, $14 hotel a night. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew where I wanted to eat. So you can see the last 3 days, my price per day has been about 20 bucks per day. I've gotten into a little bit of a routine, and I just took these last 4 days, which were kind of more normal, into account, and I calculated that I'm spending about $23 per day, which would be $720 per month. These are the days I bought some things at the grocery store, like some water, some bread, some alcohol. And I do want to warn you that I'm frugal, and sometimes I'll only eat lunch and dinner, or I'll have lunch and a snack before bed. That's how I am. So the main point of this was just to show you what I'm thinking. Once I get somewhere, I want to kind of find what's my rate of money burn right now, so that I want to know how long I'm going to be able to stay here, and if this number was too high, then maybe I need to stop eating out, or maybe I need to go to another city, or there's something about my daily routine that I need to change up. You know, I don't have to ride the subway every day. I just do that because I like to go on a little trip. I could cut out the subway, I could make my own food. There's all kinds of things you could do, but just keep an eye on how much money you're spending per day, and you can get an idea if you're going to make it. Remember, this is Shanghai, a very densely populated city. It's not the cheapest city, but you know, you can live pretty cheaply.